Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. On the show today, we have Mihailo. He's the founder of Migrate Mate. Welcome to the show. And I know, Mihailo, that you're doing amazing stuff in helping a lot of people who are in need of jobs and visas. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and what you guys do. Welcome to
I
the
really
show.
appreciate it, Neil. Hey, I'm Mihailo. Yes, the founder and CEO of Migrate Mate. We are a job board for immigrants. Think of us as LinkedIn, but for people who need visas to work in the United States.
Amazing. That's for a great, bigger cause. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. I know it's a very hot topic politically right now. So, I know some of your listeners might be very pro, some might be very against, but at the end of the day, that's what we do.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about your company. Like how are you doing it? How you got placed together? How are you able to connect people who are in a need to the actual jobs?
Yes. So really the idea started from my own personal problem. About 2 years ago, I moved to New York from Australia. And when I moved, I joined a startup. And about 6 months in, there were some rental laws that hit. It was a startup in the rental space. Anyway, I lost my job and my visa was threatened. I had 60 days to find a new job or get kicked out of the country because that's when my visa grace period would expire. And so I went through the whole process of looking for a job, trying to find one that would sponsor me. And with only a few days to spare, I found it. But the process was so stressful, so intense. And genuinely, I was so shocked that I wasn't the only one going through this. I mean, millions of people do. And I couldn't believe that this problem hadn't been solved. So I was like, well, I'll go solve it myself. I called up my best friend, Dylan. He's my co-founder. He's our engineer and CTO. And I was like, Dylan, here's an idea. Let's find jobs who need visa sponsorship. I'm in. And that's how Migrate Mate was born. And now it's been quite a few months since we incorporated, and we've just helped over 20,000 people find jobs that sponsor, which has been incredible, kind of all over the world from all different nations and citizenships.
Yeah.
So I guess the original idea, in my head, was really started a year ago, but it wasn't until January of this year. Actually, it was February when we launched our job board. And so it blew up very quickly over the last 6 months.
Okay. Excellent. So what were your if you would like to talk some of the challenges that you faced while you are trying to scale?
Yes. So the first challenge was actually figuring out what people wanted, because initially we had all this data from the government around these are the companies that sponsor these types of visas and these roles, but it's historic data. And so we had this historical database and it was somewhat useful, right? But most people were like, just show me jobs that currently exist. And so the biggest technical hurdle here is figuring out how do we find and verify over 6 million jobs that are currently active in the United States that sponsor visas. And so from that, from those 6 million jobs altogether, we created a subset of now just over 600,000 jobs that actually do sponsor visas based on a company's visa sponsorship history, the specific role type, and the recency of their visa sponsorship. Because at the end of the day, immigration policies change. And so companies are more willing or less willing to sponsor visas. And so I think that has been probably the biggest significant technical challenge for us. And then I think what's next for us is really figuring out how do we help more people actually file their visa, because immigration lawyers are so expensive. It can cost $10,000 for you to do your H-1B. I'm sure probably about the amount that you paid to file your H-1B. But the fact is every visa is just, and so if you know how to fill out the form, you don't necessarily need an immigration lawyer. And so we really want to build out technology that allows people to file for visas at 10 times cheaper rates than what they would get through an immigration.
Wow. And how do you do that?
Yes. So that is our next product that we're building. The actual, how do we do it? I mean, that's part of the charm of the tech that we've built. But really excited to share that coming soon.
Okay. Glad to hear that. So are you seeing any, based on the latest immigration laws or anything that is in being discussed, do you see any impacts on the way you guys operate?
Yes. So definitely with new immigration laws, a lot of people are like, can I still get visa sponsorship history? Are companies still sponsoring? The answer is yes, but most people don't realize that. And so I think a big part of my job is to educate people hey, just because these immigration policies have changed, it doesn't mean that companies have stopped sponsoring. They still need the best talent. And, America has 400 million people, but there are 7.6 billion, 8 billion people outside of America. And so, just like on a sheer number basis, the best people are most likely outside of America listening to us talk right now. And they're probably like, how do I get in? And that is what Migrate Mate is for.
Excellent. So since you started, how did you, or what were your main challenges to scale? Like in the sense, how did you get your first client or onboarded your first company with,
Yes.
with your platform?
So my very first customer was my friend Hunter. We were at dinner together, and he told me his girlfriend was back in Australia, and she was looking for veterinarian jobs in New York, and she couldn't find any that sponsored a visa. And that's when we had our first like database. And I was like, Hunter, I've just created this. Does it look good? He tries it. He's like, this is perfect. Can you send me a link? And I was like, absolutely. Can you first just pay me $20? And he did. And that was my first customer. And then
Okay.
kind of like that, I realized, okay, maybe I should go after people who are looking for visa sponsorship. And so my friend Caitlin, she had this group of Australian girls moving to New York. So she posted in there, and then like 10% of them bought it. And I was like, wow, this is like instant product market fit. And then so we started making TikToks and Instagram reels. And that's when we expanded beyond Australians to the rest of the world. And now we have people from 70 different countries using Migrate.
So wow, amazing. So you used kind of content, right, to do your marketing and ads.
Yes.
Now, okay, great. And that's how that's so. But that would be for B2C, right?
Yes, that's correct. B2C. On the B2B side, so we haven't launched any like B2B products yet, but we've got a few in the pipeline. So what we really want to help is help more recruiters find the best candidates, right? Obviously, people who are looking for jobs want to get hired, but recruiters have this same problem where they cannot source the best people. We have the best people from around the world. And so it's just one of those things where we want to connect recruiters with the best talent. Additionally, on top of that, filing visas. It's not just something that individuals do, it's something that companies do, it's something that law firms do. And so the technology that we're building will actually assist everyone in the immigration marketplace.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So how do you monetize? Like, are you getting paid? Like, do you get the companies pay for it, or is it a per? How are you monetizing your services?
Yes. So right now, Migrate Mate is a paid subscription on the B2C front. Our real goal here is to try and make it as accessible to as many people as possible while making sure that, we can keep our office lights on. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing. We're a small team, we're a little startup. At the end of the day, like I want this to be free. And I think like inevitably that is what our job board is going to become long term into the future. But kind of right now, in order to build this, we have to charge a subscription.
Okay. How much is it?
So the subscription like really depends like on where you're located.
Where you're working. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
it depends on the location. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Excellent. So are you? I'm assuming you're leveraging some kind of AI in the matching.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, we use a lot of AI internally. We've built a lot of AI tools internally in order to be able to scale the tech. I will say, like, at the end of the day, there's nothing that will be better than you personally applying for jobs. No AI is going to do a better job than you on that. And we
Yeah.
recognize that. But we're really leveraging AI on our tech end so that we can build the best product possible for people to go out there, apply, get jobs, and start their life in America.
So yeah, thanks. Definitely. So if you can, for the audience who are listening, if you can, what would you suggest or give your insights on to startups who are starting something from scratch
Yes.
and trying to leverage AI? What would be your message to them?
I think like for one, my bet is that AI will make teams way more productive, way more efficient. And so you need to upskill on AI tools that improve that. Internally, at least with the engineering team, we use Cursor a lot. Dylan, my co-founder, he's actually in the top 0.01% of Cursor users in the entire world. He's been reached out to by Cursor. And the fact is, he was never a classically trained software engineer. And yet in the space of a year, he is better than most software engineers with 10 years of experience. And I think like that is the direction in which like teams need to go in, which is like, don't assume just because like it's AI, it won't make you better. It
Yeah,
literally does. And experience matters a lot less now than your ability to learn and upskill yourself.
got you.
a really good analogy here is prior to the calculator, people were using abacuses to
Yeah.
calculate sums, multiplications. And so you have your highly specialized people who know how to do an abacus. But when the calculator came out and they weren't sure, like if they didn't upskill on the calculator, their jobs became redundant.
Yeah.
And I think that's really like how you have to think about these AI tools is it is a new calculator and everything but pre-AI is an abacus.
Exactly. And or think of it as a PC, right? When PC was not there, when PC was introduced, it was a big revolution, right? So, and then came the spreadsheets,
Yes.
which was even a bigger revolution.
Yeah.
Now the agents are coming in, which will be replacing the spreadsheets. Based on what Microsoft is saying. So that's why I wanted to ask you that when you said you are six of you, I was like, okay, how many of these are agents?
Yes. All of us are real people, but we're just very, very efficient and productive people. So
Yeah, I
maybe we
understand.
do
I was
the
just
same work of 60 people.
yeah, yeah, excellent. And that's the power of AI, right? It's helping you perform tasks at a exponential rate that we could not do it with so many people before. So, which is great. So, can we talk a little bit about what are your plans like for the next 6 months to 1 year? How you guys plan to scale and grow, and which direction are you guys headed?
Yes. So really for us, in order for us to scale, first and foremost, we have to build the best job board that has ever existed. We're kind of like, we've taken so much customer feedback and we're implementing a new version of the job board that is just going to blow LinkedIn, Indeed, completely out of the water, just in terms of usability and like actually helping people find jobs. It's so funny. I think most job boards don't actually help people find jobs, which is exactly why we're building Migrate Mate. And then beyond that scaling, right? Once we nail America, we nail the product. People love the job board. Help them file visas, right? And then we go and expand that across the entire world, and we become the immigration platform for anyone from any country who wants to immigrate anywhere in the world.
So you're saying it will evolve as a completely for immigration
Yes,
purposes and also looking for jobs. So it will be the whole end to end
yes,
package for some.
we are going to be the world's first immigration platform. I don't want us to be thought of as just a job board. You come to us at any stage of your immigration journey, when you're thinking of moving to when you're actively looking for a job to when you actually move, we will have a product for you.
Wow. And do you have a timeline in mind? Like by when are you trying to, you'll have it?
Yes. So we should, well, I mean, like every product will just get released continuously. But
Yeah,
in terms of like the job board, it should be around the beginning of November.
beginning of November. Oh, okay. It's coming quickly.
Very much so. Yeah. Exciting.
Okay. Okay, very nice. Great. So, Mihailo, if people want to learn more about you and your company, if you can share some of your social channels to reach out.
Absolutely. So look up migratemate.co on Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn. That's where you'll find our biggest social media presence. And people can reach out directly to me if they want. Feel free to, connect with me on LinkedIn.
All right. Cool. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining today, Mihailo.
Thank you so much, Neil. Great to
Thank
chat.
you for
Bye.
joining, and thanks everyone for connecting today and listening in. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.